What's going on? What's going on? Let me explain to you guys why women say things like, I want a man who's in touch with his feminine side, or a man who's emotionally available, or a man who's emotionally intelligent. Along with them saying phrases like, I feel like, I feel like, I feel like. If you haven't gotten the pattern by now, fellas, 99.9% of a woman's day in 24 hours is living in her emotions. Yes, she may have a job, she may have a great career, make a lot of money, have her own place, drive a car, vote, and all that stuff, plan vacations on her own. But one thing you got to understand is that a woman's realm is emotions. Just like a fish lives in water, or an ape lives in the jungle, picture women as fish, living in their emotions basically 24/7. And if they do come out of it, they can only, stand the logic air for so long before they have to dip right back in there, because that's their element. Similar, and then the same thing with guys. Ours is the opposite. If you haven't gotten the clue by now, that imagine we're on the beach, or we're in the air above ground, in our logic 99.9% of the time, with the exception of when we get emotional or when we get horny. Because when we're lustful, we're liable to do all sorts of silly things that we shouldn't. But the reason why women want a guy where they try to say, I want you to be emotionally intelligent or emotionally available, is because they can't beat you with logic. Because if you were to use your logic, you would look and say, you know what, this woman's not even a virgin. She slept with a certain number of guys, and she drinks, she smokes, whatever it is, she has a bad attitude more often than I like her to have. Let me just have sex with her and do nothing else. You will always be in control if you stay in your logic and you don't stay in your lustful zone too long. And that's what women hate. And the guys that do that are the ones that women go on the internet and complain about. Be like, oh, guys, they don't have any emotion, or they don't want to blah, 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 and, wasting my time, no emotional intelligence. What they're really saying is like, I'm trying to get a human being who breathes air to come under the water and be a fish. Because once he's in there, he's in my territory. I can drown him. I can bring him back up to the surface, bring him back down to the water. I can swim circles around him. I can, and if you're a shark, then you can easily eat him. Versus when he's on the boat or on the beach, like without being in the water, you can't do anything to him. All you can do is just entice him. Be like, hey, come on in, the water's fine. Ignore my giant shark teeth. So that's the reason why, in the most simplest term, why women want you to be emotional. Because when you're emotional, you're living in their realm of reality. Just like they have the multiverse, like in the Marvel movies, they live in a completely different reality, in a completely different element. They're like fish in water, and when a man gets emotional, he's a fish out of water. Oh, no, I'm sorry. When a woman's in her emotions, she's a fish in water, and then when a man is in the water, then he's out of his element. He's gonna drown. That's probably a better way to put it. But anyways, but yeah, let's just start doing some short videos, just so you guys can just get straight to the point, or so I can get straight to the point for you guys. So don't fall for that romantic comedy stuff, the whole romance thing. When a woman's like, oh, you should be gentler, you should be sharing your feelings with me, and you should get emotionally attached to me like I am to you. Because the moment you do that, she's going to leave anyway, or be turned off 9 times out of 10. Not 10 out of 10, but just 9 times out of 10, depending on the type of woman she is. But just throwing it out there, fellas, don't fall for it. Stay stoic as much as you can. I'm not saying don't laugh and joke with her and stuff like that, or occasionally share something that you don't like. But don't live in the realm of emotion, because that's going to be her territory and she's going to destroy you. Why do you think there's so many dudes that do the murder-suicides? I don't know if you should get mad at that, but yeah. Why do you think there's so many dudes that do murder-suicides? Because they got their emotions attached. Versus the guy that didn't have their emotion attached, and they find out she's cheating or she wants to leave, then they're like, good, I don't like you that much anyway. Okay, cool. And of course, women lose their minds for that. But anyways, y'all have a blessing.